Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 18th of June. The first news that I'm going to discuss would be RBI unveils document focusing on e-payment. This is a vision document coming from RBI. Second, Pakistan stays on the FATF grey list. We'll see the repercussion of it and possibly will Pakistan be coming out for this list. We'll see the detail of this. Third, EU back Ukraine membership bid. Fourth, GST panel to draw up Untri report. And the last is an editorial, Agni, a fire that could shrink India, right? Apart from the news and editorial discussion at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press the like button. So starting with the first news of the day, that is RBI unveils document focusing on e-payment, something important for General Studies paper 3 in mains, that is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So the Reserve Bank of India has recently unveiled the Payment Vision 2025, which is again a very important document by RBI, which would be giving a roadmap for the entire payment in our country. इससे पहले आरबीआई ने जो भी पेमेंट विजन रिलीज की थी बाय 2021, उसके जो फैक्ट्स हैं, जो अचीवमेंट्स हैं, वो भी आरबीआई ने इस विजन डॉक्यूमेंट्स में इनकॉर्पोरेट किए. द डॉक्यूमेंट हैज प्रपोज्ड अ होस्ट ऑफ इनोवेशंस पेमेंट सिस्टम, रेगुलेशन ऑफ बिग फिनटेक कंपनीज, फिनटेक्स बाय नो पे लेटर्स जो BNPL सिस्टम्स हैं, इंट्रोडक्शंस ऑफ अ सेंट्रल बैंक डिजिटल करेंसी एंड अमंग अदर. Yesterday, I have also discussed the news where RBI is looking forward to make the credit card linked with the UPI. तो इस तरह के कुछ important transformative decision लिए जा रहे हैं RBI की तरफ से. These all initiative even can be tilted towards a post-economic recovery, right? But although these vision document is very important. Now, Payment Vision 2025, जो document RBI ने release की है, this promise that further to elevate our payment system towards the realm of empowering users, affordable payments, option accessibility anytime, anywhere with the convenience. The vision document has proposed enabling geotagging of the digital payment infrastructure, transitions, revisiting guideline for the prepaid payments, including the closed system of the PPIs. RBI ने ये भी propose किया है that a framework for regulation of all significant intermediaries in the payment ecosystem that is linked to credit card, credit components and banking components to the UPI. That is what I discussed with you in detail yesterday, right? If you have not watched that video, do check it out. It will give you an insight about the RBI intentions. Now, other proposal that is a part of the Payment Vision 2025. So the other proposals include bringing an enhancement to check recognition system, that is also known as CTS, including one nation, one grade clearance system perspective. Second is to create a payment system for proposing online merchant payment using internet and mobile banking. And the Payment Vision 2025 also proposes the regulations of big techs and fintech companies in their payment space. So these are the other broad areas or the broad proposal that Vision also incorporated. Now, core theme की अगर बात करें, this is the chapter 3 of this vision document which was released by the RBI. Even you can access to the PDF that is there in the public domain of the portal of the RBI. I have taken a screenshot from that particular document. So the core theme called for e-payment, 4E, that is payment for everyone, everywhere and anytime. So these are the 4 E's basically, and the vision provide for user safe, secure, fast, convenient, accessibility, affordability and e-payment option that is called attributes, 6 attribute, right? So this is how the entire theme would work, and this would ensure that this is actually helping the citizen at the ground, right? So these are something very important that will definitely help to transform the overall financial system that is operating as of now. Now, the other news that is Pakistan stays on the FTA grey list, something important for general studies paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement, evolving India's and affecting India's interest. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स उन्होंने कहा है कि पाकिस्तान अभी भी ग्रे लिस्ट में कंटिन्यू रहेगी. उसके कुछ नॉर्म्स होते हैं बिफोर एनी कंट्री मूव आउट टू द ग्रे लिस्ट, राइट. सो एज ऑफ नाउ द FATF, दैट इज फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स, हैज कैटेगोरिकली मेंशन दैट पाकिस्तान विल कंटिन्यू टू बी द पार्ट ऑफ द ग्रे लिस्ट in the countries list. FATF said that Pakistan may be removed from the grey list after on-site verifications, on-visit verifications होंगी. Even the implementation of its reform counter financing mechanism, जो कि खास करके FATF की जो गाइडलाइंस है, जो प्रोसीजर्स है, जो मेथडोलॉजी है, अगर वो पूरी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट होगी, देन ओनली दे कैन डिसाइड, एंड दैट डिसीजन हैज़ टू बी यूनानिमस बाय द बेसिकली जो FATF की पूरी टीम है वो डिस्कस करेगी, बोर्ड मेंबर्स डिस्कस करेंगे वेदर दे शुड बी मूविंग पाकिस्तान फ्रॉम ग्रे लिस्ट और नॉट. The formal announcement of the Pakistan removal would follow an on-site inspections which would be conducted before October. This is what FATF has concluded. So this can be a possible statement in your prelims examination also. So make sure आपको इस तरह की चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए कि FATF ग्रे लिस्ट से किस तरह से हटाती है किसी भी कंट्रीज को. Now, Pakistan inclusion in the grey list, if you go into the background, when it started, so the Pakistan was put on FATF grey list since 2018 and was asked to implement FATF's task force fully by September 2019, which definitely Pakistan has not achieved. It was the same category जहाँ पे 2012 और 15 में भी इस तरह की events देखे गए. Pakistan inclusion in the grey list can be attributed to the facts where the country has been basically mentioned for many anti-terrorist law, even not in the line with the FATF standard. और recent में जो UN के resolutions है, that is 2462 resolutions that pitches for the criminalizing terror financing has always been a part of Pakistan, right? तो FATF ने इस वजह से भी जो टेरर फाइनेंसिंग के जो इश्यूज हैं उसको लेकर के भी ग्रे लिस्ट में डाला हुआ है पाकिस्तान को. एंड दिस इज एविडेंट एंड दिस इज इक्वली ट्रू. इंडिया हैज बीन pitching for, India has been vocal about that Pakistan is a country which is inclined and which is majorly having a terror financing, right? So the reason being अभी के लिए for timing FATF grey list से पाकिस्तान को नहीं हटाई जा रही. इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्रे लिस्ट, किसी भी कंट्री को अगर ग्रे लिस्ट में डाला जाता है उसके क्या रिपरकशंस होते हैं, क्या नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होते हैं और उसके क्या इम्पैक्ट होते हैं. सो इंक्लूजन ऑफ द ग्रे लिस्ट implies that the strategic deficiencies are there and even in the jurisdiction policies to prevent money laundering and terror financing. It make difficult to get financial aid from IMF and many other banking bodies. So you cannot get finances और बहुत सारे restrictions है, trade restrictions भी होती हैं जो continue होती हैं. Now about FATF, because we are discussing, so it is equally important that you should know some basic about FATF. FATF is an intergovernmental body that set international standard seeking to prevent the international financial crime and aid terrorism, right? So it was actually established way back in 1989 by the G7 summit in Paris. Initially aims to examine and develop to combat the money laundering. तो पूरा कोशिश ये है कि जो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, जो नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज है, जो टेरर फाइनेंसिंग है, उस तरह की चीज़ों को रोका जा सके. It is a policy body that works to generate political will in the national jurisdiction for legislating and regulating reform in that areas. Now looking to the members of FATF, there are total 39 members of FATF and currently they comprises of 37 members jurisdictions, right? And 2 regional organizations representing most of the financial center in all parts of the globe. So something that is important for examination, that India is a member of FATF. Now, India has been the member of FATF since 2010 and currently, as I've told you, 37 members have total jurisdiction over 2 organizations, that is European Commissions and Gulf Cooperation Council, that is representing the major financial center in all parts of the globe. So this statement is factually very important for your prelims examination. And all members of the regional partner have the grouping in Asia Pacific and Eurasian group. So these are some of the important facts that you must know. Now, EU back Ukraine membership bid, something important for General Studies paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. So Europe has sent a powerful symbol of solidarity with Ukraine in its bid for EU candidatures to the Ukraine, and very soon Ukraine is likely to be the part of European Union. Where the European Commission's backing Ukraine could now be added to the list of the countries जहाँ पे EU membership बहुत ही जल्दी यूरोपियन को मिलेगी. There are other methodology, other consensus that has to be worked before any country is being incorporated into EU membership. I have discussed this in detail. If you have not watched that video, do check it out. तो EU की जो membership है उसके कुछ क्राइटेरियाज होते हैं, कुछ बेसिकली सेट ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड हैं, SOPs हैं जो फॉलो करनी होती है. आफ्टर देन ओनली इट कैन बिकम मेंबर. एंड द अदर इंपॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरिया और यू कैन से बेसिकली द मेथड इज हर एक मेंबर्स जो EU कंट्रीज के मेंबर्स हैं उनको सब कंट्रीज को ग्रीन सिग्नल देना होगा. देन ओनली द अदर कंट्री हु इज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू ज्वाइन द EU मेंबरशिप कैन ज्वाइन. Russia's response की अगर बात करें, in response to the vote European Union has taken recently, रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट ने कहा that his country has not against Ukraine joining membership, but they are looking for some other consensus. These are some of the diplomatic statement coming from Russia, but the bitter truth is that Russia never wanted Ukraine to join European Union, and Russia has never in a notion that they want a eastward movement of the NATO forces. Now, European Union members support. All 27 leaders have agreed for the candidature of Ukraine to be the part of that. और कुछ important countries है जो बड़ी economy है European Union की, like France, Germany, Italy, they have already given their full-throated support. Full-throated support का मतलब they have been vocal from the starting and they said we are 100% supporting Ukraine, right? So if you're naming some countries, make sure you name 3 countries: France, Russia, and Italy. Recently, European Commission gave an executive formal backing to the bid, that is, Ukraine can join European Union, and Ukraine president immediately welcomed this decision. It said that it's a first step on the EU membership that certainly will bring victory closer. Now, Russia और यूक्रेन के बीच में जो वॉर चल रही है, that actually started in February. It's almost 4 months down the line, and it has been Russia has destroyed many important cities of Ukraine, right? In meantime, fighting continues. Russia forces bombarded Ukraine pockets. Individual citizens को भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ है. Chemical plants destroy किए गए हैं in the eastern Ukrainian city. Now, the other news important for General Studies paper 3 in the economy. The topic is GST panel to draw up Untri reports. So this is important for Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth, and development. So a group of ministers, also known as GUM, was constituted recently to review the current rate of tax slabs. जो tax slabs के rates हैं GST के अंदर उसमें किस तरह के changes की ज़रूरत है. So they will be preparing a report, but the committee has asked an extension for the tenure that the upcoming GST meeting जो होनी है 28-29 में उसमें extension फाइन कुछ सीख करेंगे. And that extension would definitely help to get a notion or get a consensus on the ongoing tax rate slabs. GST और टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर्स की अगर बात करें, जो 46 मीटिंग हुई थी दिसंबर में, उसमें काउंसिल हैज deferred the proposal to hike the rate on textile sector, that is 12% from existing 5%, and it was to be implemented from 1st of January 2022. But again, no consensus was made, so this has been withheld. Discussion held so far on the GST rates, inverted duty structure for the sector except textiles. GM, जो group of ministers हैं, उन्होंने agree किया they would be putting together an interim report detailing the discussion held so far, and the report has not been finalized yet. Now, GUM so far, the GUM has 3 meetings so far. In the meeting last November, it held discussion on the various proposal for the rate rationalization and measures to shore up the revenues, while then officers level fitment committees learned to have recommended that raising the rate taxes to 5% to 7% and from 18% to 20% on the some issues would be a debate that has to be overcome by the state administration also. तो हर एक स्टेट के जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर है उनमें कंसेंसस होगी and that consensus has to be discussed with the GST Council, then only it can be basically implemented changes. Although अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जो रिसेंट जजमेंट आई है उसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कैटेगोरिकली मेंशन किया दैट द रिकमेंडेशंस ऑफ the GST Council is not a mandatory nature, it is only a recommendatory nature, and center as well as the state government are not bound to follow the rules of the GST Council. The state has cited the concern about the inflationary impact of such major hike, especially after the pandemic, right? So post pandemic, we need to look into the percentage of interest that has been incurred on certain item that is anticipated. Now, mandate of GST panel, जो ये panel बनाई गई थी, GST panel which is headed by the Karnataka Chief Minister, was formed last year for overreaching mandate, that is to evaluate a special rate, और वो tax structure rationalizations में एक ऐसी tax mergers होगी जो कि simplify करेगी tax rates को, along with it will review the instances of inverted duty structure, identifying the potential sources of evasions to shore up the revenues. Now, moving to the editorial, that is Agni, a fire that could shrink India. Important for General Studies Paper 2, Government Policies and Intervention for the Development of Various Sectors and Issues Arising from it, Design and Implementation. Right? I have already discussed this news when it was actually launched, and for past day or two, there's some protest that is ongoing. So now it's time, it has been reported in editorial, so I find it relevant to discuss with you. But although आपको इस डिस्प्यूट वाली चीज में नहीं पढ़ना, आपको जो मेयर कंपोनेंट है, जो एनालिसिस पार्ट है, उसे समझना है कि व्हाई द प्रोटेस्ट इज ऑनगोइंग, राइट? सो अंडर दिस एडिटोरियल आई विल बी सिंप्लीफाइंग बाय 5 important subheads, that is the ground reality, damaging consequences, challenges for Indian Army, political social implication, and the bottom line. And the entire editorial focuses upon the Agni scheme and its concern. So recently, UTN cabinet ने पास किया अग्निपथ स्कीम को for the recruitment of youth in the armed forces, and the government defense recruitment could endanger the safety of the country that affect the stability of the society. अग्निपथ स्कीम जो है एक शॉर्ट टर्म कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिक्रूटमेंट है for all armed forces, that is Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, and this short term is for 4 years. The reason being the dispute had arisen, और भी कुछ कारण है disputes के जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ने जो एज बार रखी थी वो 21 ईयर की रखी थी. आफ्टर द प्रोटेस्ट इट हैज इंक्रीज टू 23rd, which is again not feasible, right? Even it is being said that what after 4 years, what the individual is going to do, because जो परसेंटेज वापस जो इंडक्ट होंगे फोर्सेस में वो सिर्फ 25% है, तो रेस्ट 75% कहाँ जाएंगे? ये कुछ ऐसी इंपॉर्टेंट बातें हैं जो कि एक्सपर्ट ने भी रेस की है, दैट दिस इज नॉट अ राइट डिसीजन टेकन एट राइट टाइम, राइट? तो ग्राउंड रियलिटी की अगर बात करें, जो अग्निवीर स्कीम्स है, खास करके दोज पीपल हु वुड बी पार्ट ऑफ अग्निपथ स्कीम वुड बी नोन एज अग्निवीर्स. So it is implicit that Indian economy is incapable of supporting the armed forces and their need. तो जिस तरह की जो गवर्नमेंट डिसीजन है, ऑल्दो एक्सपेंडिचर काफ़ी ज़्यादा है हमारे बजट में, बट ये इस तरह की जो डिसीजन है ये गवर्नमेंट को, ये एविडेंट करता है कि गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा कमिटेड नहीं है आर्म्ड फोर्सेस पे और ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसेस करने के लिए, ऐसा कहना है एक्सपर्ट्स का. Now, the faces that active military threat from the two adversaries, जो adversaries चाहे चाइना की बात करें, पाकिस्तान की बात करें, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी की चैलेंजेस काफ़ी ज़्यादा है कश्मीर और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन में, एंड डेफिनेटली टू काउंटर दिस वी नीड अ रोबोस्ट पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेज, आर्म्ड फोर्सेज. और अगर आप 4 ईयर के लिए किसी भी फोर्स को तैयार करेंगे तो वो जो साइकोलॉजिकल डिवोशंस जो हैं, खास करके जो पेट्रियाटिज्म है, वो कम होगी कहीं ना कहीं, जो लोग उसमें आएंगे. The realities cannot be whisked away, and instead of expanding the economy to support the military, the government has resolved the sinkering of military. So this is like जहाँ पे expansion की ज़रूरत है, इंडिया एक ऐसी कंट्री जहाँ पे रूरल एरियाज़ के लोग मिलिट्री ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं एंड दे वांट टू सर्व द नेशन, बट इस तरह के एफर्ट्स कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारी ओवरऑल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है रूरल यूथ की, वो कम करेगी. एंड एज पर द सेंटर फॉर मॉनिटरिंग इंडियन इकोनॉमी की अगर बात करें, CMI, तो उनके मुताबिक जो इंडिया में खास करके अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट है वो पिछले 45 ईयर्स में सबसे अधिक है, मतलब इट्स अ हाईएस्ट रेट. सो दिस इज द रीजन द प्रोटेस्ट इज ऑन गोइंग, बिकॉज यूथ वांट अ कंक्लूसिव पॉलिसी विच इज हेल्पिंग देम इन अ लॉन्गर रन एंड इवन सस्टेन देयर लाइवलीहुड. नाउ डैमेजिंग कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज की अगर बात करें, जो शॉर्ट टर्म रिक्रूटमेंट पॉलिसी है अपने आप में काफ़ी डिस्प्यूटेड है, And the expert are of the opinion that it has an adverse effect on the professional capabilities of armed forces. बिकॉज ऑफ द शॉर्ट टर्म कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अग्निवीर जो होंगे बाद में उनका क्या होगा, किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लेवल पे वो वर्क करेंगे, जो एक्चुअल डिग्रेडेशंस की जा रही है कैपेबिलिटीज की, उससे काफ़ी ज़्यादा नुकसान हो सकता है. Challenges for Indian Army. See, if you look into the history and legacy of Indian Army, it has challenges which is twofold. So Indian Army has emerged as a legacy traces to 1748, and earlier it has emphasized on the discipline of efficiency and separate from the fragmented of Indian society. The Agnipath proposal, the class based recruitment जहाँ पहले की जाती थी, अब उसको पूरे ऑल इंडिया बेसिस पे रिक्रूटमेंट की जा रही है. It's good, but if you see the legacy that has continued for Indian Army, it was not like that. आपने कई बार देखा होगा इंडियन आर्मी में सिख रेजिमेंट है, पंजाब रेजिमेंट है, गोरखा रेजिमेंट है. तो ये जो रीजनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, नो, द रीजनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो अगर आप मेंस में लिख रहे हैं, यू हैव टू हाईलाइट द कंसर्न ऑफ द रीजनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन, बिकॉज दिस इज अ सेंटिमेंट दैट इज अटेन. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो ऑल इंडिया बेसिस पे नए एग्जाम्स देते हैं, अपने रीजन में वो एक तरह से उस पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम को कंसर्न की जाती है. तो जो रीजनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है वो एक बड़ी चैलेंज होगी गवर्नमेंट के लिए. एंड द मेजर प्रॉब्लम इन ट्रेनिंग, इंटीग्रेटिंग, डिप्लॉयमेंट soldiers will also experience for the other part. The recreation of identified 25% of the short-term contract soldiers would be retained as the result is unhealthy competition. जो गवर्नमेंट ने कहा है जो टोटल रिक्रूटमेंट की जाएगी 4 ईयर के लिए, उसमें सिर्फ रेस्ट 25% को वापस से शॉर्ट टर्म कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में रखा जाएगा. दिस इज अगेन अ डिस्प्यूटेड वन विच इज नॉट बीइंग फेवर्ड बाय द एक्सपर्ट. पॉलिटिकल सोशल इम्प्लीकेशंस की अगर बात करें, अग्निपथ स्कीम has do away with the idea of state wise quota. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, गोरखा रेजिमेंट, सिख रेजिमेंट, पंजाब रेजिमेंट, no, there are many regiment, beat if you see look into the detail, there are many recruitment which is working for Indian Army. तो ये जो रिक्रूटेबल मेल पॉपुलेशंस के अकॉर्डिंगली हर स्टेट्स में जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन दी जाती है वो खत्म होना भी एक बहुत बड़ी इशू है. And this has also led to the protest, right? So the prevention of imbalances army was dominated by the linguistic state and ethnicity that has happened for the case of Pakistan. अभी पाकिस्तान प्रोविंसेस में भी इस तरह की चीज़ें एक्टिवली काम कर रही है. The academic research shows that the high level of ethnic imbalances has been associated with the problem of democracy and increased livelihood civil war worrying scenario in the India today. So this is something which can even provoke for the civil war. So we need to take a caution. Government definitely need to take a rethink that how this would be implemented. If not, this policy or scheme can be withdrawn immediately. Now the bottom line, in India, the Indian Army has so far provoked the salary, uniform and prestige. जहाँ पे ब्रिटिश की जो legacy है वो अभी भी continued है, and even it called for a post-retirement benefits, rewards and grant which is there, right? So this meant that the military remained an attractive for many generations, anchoring their traditions. And it has also resulted in standing privilege where pension resulted in the comfortability life of the retired soldier. तो गवर्नमेंट ये भी कहा जा रहा है, ये जो 4 ईयर की प्लान की गई है, इससे गवर्नमेंट अपने जो पेंशन और पेमेंट की जो है टोटल एक्सपेंसेस उसको बचाएगी, क्योंकि जितनी भी बजट एलोकेट की जाती है डिफेंस फोर्सेस में, उसकी 45% जो पैसे हैं वो आर्मी के सैलरी और पेंशन पे जाते हैं. सो दिस इज अ बिग चंक ऑफ अमाउंट ऑफ द टोटल एलोकेटेड अमाउंट फॉर द डिफेंस फोर्सेस. नाउ द गवर्नमेंट earning financial year where the risk of reducing the honor profession, the stability of society and safety of country is very important. So definitely the policy makers need to think into the practicality. इसके क्या रिपरकशन होंगे, इसके जो टारगेट ग्रुप हैं उस पर क्या होंगे, जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं उन पर क्या क्या रिपरकशन हो सकते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में दे करके इफ रेक्टिफिकेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड कैन बी डन, और द बेस्ट ऑप्शन वुड बी टू विड्रॉ द स्कीम, राइट? बट यू हैव टू बैलेंस योर आंसर. अगर आप मेंस में लिखें तो आप डायरेक्ट विड्रॉल की बात नहीं कर सकते. यू हैव टू सजेस्ट दैट गवर्नमेंट कैन डेफिनेटली प्रपोज द रिक्वायर्ड अमेंडमेंट एज डिजायर्ड बाय द नीड ऑफ द आवर, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन कंक्लूड योर आंसर्स. Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answer of yesterday's question. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, also the correct option is C. Now, today's question, that is new umbrella entities. Only those entities are controlled by the Indian citizen and the year of experience have become the promoters of NUEs. No foreign investment is allowed in the NUE existing guidelines. So, to check it out for the correct options. Second, electoral bond. All nationalized banks are authorized to issue the in-cash bond valid for the 15 days and date of issuance. These bonds are remittable in the designated account of the registered political parties. So do check it out for the correct options. This would be again important for the prelims examination and even for many other competitive examination. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.